Alright, so this is a spoiler warning. If you ain't trying to get the whole movie ruined, you need to tear that ass up out of here. This your last chance before I start snitching on the whole plot. We about to blow the spot up. I went into this movie raw as hell. No protection. No trailer, no spoiler, just vibes and a bag of hot Cheetos, and I got that little drinky drink. You know, they be selling alcohol now at the movies, so you know I had to get one. I made sure I didn't know anything though. Zero plot, no trailer, not even a character name. But of course, the whole internet tried to spoil it from time to time. I never seen anything, but I did find out that there was vampires. Thanks, Kevin. Hope you choke on a Funyun. Even with the spoiler though, I was still hyped. Like, let's be real. I'm a ride or die for black horror, black fantasy, black vampires, black ghosts, black everything. If it's black, I'm supporting it.
Who are you rooting for tonight?
I'm rooting for everybody black. I am. Betting on black tonight.
We don't get enough of it. We're always the first one to die in a horror film, never the ones writing the lore. So seeing this lineup, an all black cast, black director, black story with blues music and hoodoo magic, inject me with it. I need that. I'm the villain. And listen, I'm a real life folklore, anime, scary movie type of motherfucker. If it got spirits, swords, or somebody yelling in Latin, I'm watching it. So this right here was up my alley. This was a spiritual buffet for me. Ryan Coogler never misses either. I've been locked in with him since Fruitvale Station and his bromance with Michael B. Jordan. It's cinema royalty. They're giving Tim Burton and Johnny Depp, but Melanin edition, or Tarantino and Samuel Jackson, minus the foot fetish, saying nigga every 5 seconds, and and the fact that Ryan Coogler's from the Bay, cause you feel me, I'm from the Bay too, yay area, yada I mean, but the Feezy, I thought you thought, what it do, what it is, what it ain't. My bad, I had to, So watching one of our own go from East Oakland to directing Black Panther and now this supernatural gospel horror film is like a fever dream. It's beautiful. Black man winning creatively. So the movie's going viral right now and getting people in their feelings. It's always getting people in their feelings when it seems like it's us. I don't know why. It always seems like our movies rub people either the right way or the wrong way. People try to find everything wrong with it. Like some folk out here really crying, talking about it's evil, it's satanic, it's racist against white people. Bruh, shut the fuck up. This ain't your Facebook church group. This is cinema. Get over it. Meanwhile, the rest of us with fully developed frontal lobes are over here like, this is art. This is culture. This is black horror. This is a black horror lore served hot with the side of ancestral trauma and garlic cloves. Like, what is you saying? What does you mean? It's giving death. It's giving blues. It's giving no sparkly vampires and glittery foundation. Cause what the fuck was that shit? What the fuck? Why? We did not ever want this. Nah, real talk, they really went in with the old school vampire mythology. No aura farming, no glowing skin, no toxic love triangles, just good old fashioned undead chaos, some historical symbolism, and overall vibes. Not too cringy. It wasn't cringy, not too preachy, not trying too hard, just hitting all the right notes between horror, black history, spirituality, and folklore without turning into like a Disney Channel PSA. And if you think that's too demonic for you, go touch some damn grass, or maybe touch a book. Go get your imagination up, eat a brownie, watch Rick and Morty or something. Because acting like this film is written by Satan himself is just, it's obvious your social life flatlined years ago. Because what are you reaching for? Why are you stretching so hot? Calm down, it's a movie. It's evil and against Christianity. No shit, they're vampires. Vampires are against Christianity, of course they are. What would be the reason to even go see a vampire movie at that point? They been beefing with Christianity since the Bible been written. What the hell did you think this was? Y'all act brand new like vampires supposed to be on a church choir or some shit. They drink blood, not communion wine. Relax. It's a movie. At the end of the day, it's a movie, not a demon summoning, not a Sunday sermon. It's a film. Let's talk about how Michael B. Jordan went full Gemini mode in Sinners and devoured both roles up. That man played two different dudes, Smoke and Stack, and somehow had me forgetting it was the same damn actor. How did you body both the slick talking hustler, real pimpish vibes, and then the reserved soul deep brother like that? Emmy, Oscar, give this man all of it. He deserves it all. For real, for real. Critics are calling this his best performance ever. When I sat down to watch it, I had zero zero clue this man was playing twins. Remember, I went in blind. So when that first scene hit, I was straight up confused, like, wait a minute, how is this man teleporting? I literally kept looking at one side, the other side, one side to the other. I was like, hold on. Then he hit us with the line, we cousins, and it clicked.
You twins? Nah, we cousins.
That wasn't just a jab at that lard brain KKK member either. Mr. Teletubby himself, asking the dumbest question ever. It low-key felt like a wink to us in the audience, who were just as lost. One of the coldest scenes in the whole movie is when Sammy, played by Miles Catton, starts singing like his vocal cords were dipped in history. And I don't know if I said his name right. You know, I'll be butchering names. Miles Catton or Catan, but yeah, that guy. Dude's voice doesn't just sound good. It straight up bends time. He's a time bender. In that juke joint scene, he's not just performing. He's channeling the ancestors. You literally see folks from slavery days swaying to the rhythm all the way to the present day baddies. He's throwing it back like it's Saturday night on TikTok. It's not just music. It's a spiritual group chat between the past, present, and future. And it was this very gift of why the vampire Remick wanted his ass. He wanted to steal this gift for himself. This ain't just some random music break. It's a whole cultural mic drop. That scene hits like a reminder that black culture doesn't die. It adapts and slaps harder every time. The way blues, hip hop, and soul all blend together, that's not just vibes. It's a flex on how we survived, evolved, and still get copied every decade. Y'all can steal the sauce, but you'll never be the chef, man. For real, when the history of black American music showed up all at once in the juke, it honestly lit up my soul, because I talk about this all the time. That is the culture that you witnessed in that very scene. Black Americans said bet to generational oppression and turned pain into art, and one of the biggest escapes was music. Spiritual chants, the blues, doo-wop, rock and roll, hip-hop, rap, R&B. It's a whole timeline. They couldn't run from the system, so they sang through it, rapped over it, and made it danceable. That's the culture. And I'm a fiend for anything with fire-ass dialogue. The Sopranos, Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, Django, Them, Us, The Wire, Snowfall. If it got intense-ass convos mixed with some action and even horror, I'm in. See, horror is my favorite category. You guys know this. All I play is horror video games. I love scary shit. But with all that being said, the rabbit hole goes deep. This movie's so in-depth. There's so many metaphors, so many hidden messages that we could tap into. A lot of shit to for real break down. But since I'm toxic as hell, we diving straight into the scary shit and cultural theft. Cause nothing screams America like black pain turned into profit and demons smirking and drooling in the background. I ain't gonna hold, the film gets low-key freaky as hell. There's a scene where the chick playing Mary literally spits her drool into Stack's mouth, like full send.
You drool.
You want some?
I was sitting there like, what the fuck? I would have never thought I would see Spider-Gwen spit in Michael B. Jordan's mouth like that. That was just something I never thought I would see. These vampires don't just bite, they leak. It looked like snot on her lip, maybe even skeet. I'm sorry, but it does look like that. It looked kind of sick. Visually, it's a 0 out of 10. My eyes need therapy. It's disgusting. And she took that same spit and spit in Michael B. Jordan's mouth. I said, oh man, this is some freaky shit. What are we watching now? How do we make it to OnlyFans for vampires? What's going on here? I mean, I'd rather see Haley Steinfeld vibing with Michael B. Jordan than out here dodging her stalker.
I'm gonna watch Paper Moon just so I can,
So you know?
just so I can like be closer to Haley. Be closer to Haley. Be closer to Haley. Be closer to Haley.
Yeah, that's gotta sting. It's crazy how you could literally see the difference when a girl feels safe, right? Comfort hits different when she's not plotting her escape route. Jack O'Connell as Remick, yeah, he devoured that role. Bro was serving evil southern menace with a side of unbothered chaos. Smooth, sinister, and straight up disrespectful. Dude made the villain look kinda dope. Minus the whole leeching off of black people's pain. We first meet this blood-sucking menace getting hunted down by the Choctaw tribe. Like full-on sprinting for his undead life. They chased his frail, dusty vampire ass straight to the porch of a whole KKK couple. And in true vampire fashion, this man can't enter unless he's invited in. And guess what? The inbred mayonnaise monsters let him in. It's okay, I could be racist towards them. They're KKK members, fuck them. The tribe pulled up like, hey bruh, don't do that, he's evil. But once that sun started clocking out, they dipped. Because ain't nobody trying to be Remic's midnight snack just because they want to play dumb. And honestly, I didn't feel bad. Soon as I saw them KKK robes, I was like, yup, go ahead, karma cook them, eat them, unalive them. And the crazy thing is, the Choctaw tribe really helped the Irish in real life. They really did in real life. This is real history. During the famine in 1847, Remic isn't just a vampire, he's Irish. He's not just some rando with fangs. He's a full metaphor for cultural theft. So what makes that crazy is that the Choctaw really helped the Irish. They straight up donated them money while still dealing with their own trauma. So in Sinners, it tracks that the tribe might have helped Remic at first. Probably thought he was just another struggling Irish dude, but once they realized bro was a vampire, yeah, they spun the block. Their sympathy turned into smoke real fast. So believe it or not, during that time period, white Americans treated Irish people wrong too. Of course, it wasn't as wrong as they did black people or even Native Americans. However, they were treated unfairly. It was easier for them though. It was easier for them to blend in. So Remic fake trauma bonds with every group, like he's the main character of oppression. He's not. He's a leech with a sob story. He tells the natives, we both suffered. But then he goes and tells the clan members, we both white. Then later on tells the black folk, I love your music. I want to learn it. Just stop.
Stop it.
So what I feel like Ryan Coogler did in a metaphorical way, he doesn't just want blood. He wants soul. He's not feeding off the people. He's draining the culture. He doesn't care about the community. He's a cultural drifter. Just hops from group to group like a colonizer with the Drake playlist. So then dude pulls up to the juke joint, singing Irish folk songs, doing a little leg dancing shit, as if it's open mic night, trying to finesse his way inside and blend in with the black culture, as if they didn't peep the leech behavior. Dude really said, hey, we were colonized too. At first, the Choctaw tribe might have given him the benefit of the doubt, maybe even helped him. But once they saw his ass draining folks dry, literally, and probably hijacking their ancestral gifts, they were like, nah, this ain't it. They chased his ass like he owed them reparations. And the way Coogler used that Irish backstory was just a 10 out of 10. That's how in-depth this movie got. It was layered with history. He turned a vampire movie into a history lesson. During the Jim Crow era, black folks were getting scammed with fake money. They would literally have plantation coins, wooded coins that they would give for work instead of having slaves. It wasn't worth anything. They wouldn't give them real currency. And here you got Remic's goofy ass walking around with a pocket full of gold, like he's a leprechaun or some shit. That wasn't subtle. They made sure to point that out. He basically represents the Hollywood system in vampire form. Smiles, steals, and sells it back watered down. That's exactly what Sinners calls out. Black folks built the music, the blues, the soul, the pain behind every note. Then here comes the vampires, literally and symbolically swooping in to suck the life out of it and claim it as their own. It ain't just horror, it's history. The juke joint was sacred. It represents sacred ground. And just like in real life, white outsiders came in pretending to appreciate the shit, only to steal it, sell it, and water it down. Remic didn't just want blood, he wanted the sound. He wanted that spirit in their story. He wanted to see his own people, so he wanted Sammy's gift. Cause remember, Sammy can bend time. He can bend time through his music. He bridged the gap. And I don't think Coogler made Remic Irish by accident. That man was cooking with history. That man was cooking with history the entire time, whipping it up. Everything in Sinners felt too specific. Black American trauma, KKK, the Choctaw tribe, even Al Capone, who's known to had beef with Irish gangs. And the twin brothers, they mentioned they worked for him in Chicago and riding dirty with a car full of Irish beer. And let's not ignore this. Ireland had vampire lore before Dracula ever pulled up. So yeah, making Remic Irish, that wasn't random. That was very much on purpose. That was layered and low-key genius. The Hour Talk was a blood-sucking Irish warlord who had to be buried upside down with magic. Dude was the original menace. So who created Dracula? Who's Dracula's daddy? Bram Stoker. And guess what? Bram Stoker is Irish. He clearly grew up on creepy Irish folklore stories and probably just rebranded the Auertalk in Transylvanian. However, the Auertalk came first. Legend was already doing vampire shit way before Dracula got published. Irish folklore is full of cursed land and revenge spirits. Perfect match for Sinner's creepy ass tone. So Remmick's Irishness isn't random. Coogler didn't just randomly attack the Irish. Remmick's character plays oppressed when it's useful, then turns into the oppressor. Classic fake ally move. And then you got the post-credit scene where people were screaming Robert Johnson because, you know, Robert Johnson was known to sell his soul to become famous as a famous musician. They felt like Sammy signed a blood deal, but nah, y'all got it twisted. That wasn't no soul sale. That was salvation on beat. This little light of mine was what Sammy was singing, and that wasn't foreshadowing hell. It was literally the theme song for divine ass whooping. The whole movie been telling you light equals weapon. Vampires combust on contact, and with Sammy, his voice is the light. That's God's Bluetooth speaker. He didn't sell his soul, he charged it. And let's not forget that mid-credit scene. He curb stomped immortality when Stack offered to bite him. Man chose legacy over leeching. That sunlight theme in Sinners is not just vampire lore, it's layered as hell. Vampires are literal slaves to the sun. Think about that. They're slaves to the sun, right? They burn up in it. But metaphorically, that light exposes everything they try to hide. Now flip that shit. Black people were forced to work under that same sun, slaving in the fields, bleeding and sweating under it, yet still somehow became the light in every room. The contrast is wild. And then what happens at nightfall? That's when the horror really starts. It's giving Sundown town energy. You know those sundown town places where black folks had to vanish or risk being annihilated after dark? That fear, that silence, that's blended into every nighttime scene. The vampires don't just hunt in the dark because it's convenient. They thrive in the same shadows that white supremacy hid in. So yeah, in Sinners, the sun ain't just a danger to monsters. It's a symbol of truth, survival, and freedom. At night, that's when the ghosts of America's ugliest truths come out to feast. And I'm not saying that that's how all vampire mythology lore is. I'm saying this is what Coogler was trying to do with this film. Because I like vampires. Fuck y'all, I love vampire films. Vampires go stupid. But in this particular film, the lore that Coogler went with for his vampires was symbolism. And in this film, they symbolize corruption and they symbolize cultural robbery as their bloodlust. It was crazy as fuck, bro. Like, was hilarious is honestly like watching the whitewashing happen in real time, because it really did. It started to happen in real time. People really out here saying Sinners isn't original because they're plastering it everywhere. Everyone's calling it the biggest original film in years, because most of the movies these days are usually remakes. So they're calling this the best original movie in a long time. So because they're going with that, they're trying to strip Ryan Coogler with that title. People are trying to say Sinners is a copy and paste from Dusk Till Dawn. I don't know if you ever seen Dusk Till Dawn, but that is not true. It's so funny because saying this is exactly what Sinners is calling out. How folks constantly jack black art, either stealing the credit or claiming the whole thing like it wasn't born from us. Y'all proving the point without even realizing it.
Movie spoilers. I love the movie Sinners, but it's literally the plot of From Dusk Till Dawn.
No. It's not the same plot at all.
I'm seeing a lot of talk on the internet comparing Sinners to Robert Rodriguez's From Dusk Till Dawn from 1996. And while I do agree that there's similarities, there are people that are saying that Sinners is a ripoff of From Dusk Till Dawn.
Just got done watching the movie Sinners. You guys are ready to have the conversation that was basically just a reimagining of From Dusk Till Dawn.
Sinners copying Dusk Till Dawn is the most dumbest thing that I could ever hear anybody ever say, especially if you are a fan of film.
Sinners is too slow, it's too woke, and it's too much like From Dusk Till Dawn. Says every single account that wants people to comment on their post, and every single one of those accounts is full of shit.
Let's clear this shit up. The Gecko brothers in From Dusk Till Dawn are not giving Smoke and Stack. Not even close. Y'all want to see two criminals and you guys want to match them to any criminals. That's not how it works. You don't see two brothers that are criminals or do criminal activity and assume they're just like the other set of criminals. First of all, they're not twins. The Gecko brothers were not twins. They're just two criminal goofballs on the run. One is a full-blown psychopath who hallucinates, assaults women, grapes them and all, unalives them, and literally lusts after a teenage girl the entire first half of the movie, like he's on the registry already or some shit. And his brother, the other one, yeah, he's a thief who tries to keep things calm and keeps things under control, but still holds innocent people at gunpoint. So they're basically both trash as fuck. Meanwhile, the Stack and Smoke twins and Sinners actually built a juke joint from scratch. They were hustlers in Chicago. And if they had blood on their hands, it wasn't innocent people. It was people that were also in the same cutthroat, ruthless ass industry. So the twins, they built their bar from scratch and paid for it. The Gecko Clowns, they hijacked a bar, took hostages, then immediately lost control in like 10 minutes later. When one chick turned into a vampire, she wasn't bitten. She was already a vampire, by the way. She wasn't bitten. She wasn't like Mary. She didn't get bit. She wasn't a main character. She already worked at the bar. She turned into a vampire out of nowhere, embodied one of them, unalived them, folded them instantly. And the vampires, they're not even the same species as Sinners. Sinners vampires are creepy, strategic, symbolic, historic, layered, culture vultures. Dusk Till Dawn vampires look like they just crawled out of Spirit's Halloween store. Soft, easily killable. And the brother that turned into a vampire, he lasted like 15 seconds. No hands. Got jumped. His brother unalived him without hesitation. When Stack turned into a vampire, it was hard for Smoke to deal with that. They battled, they thumped, and Smoke ended up letting his brother go because he wasn't able to unalive him like that. It's even said at the end scene when he's shooting all the KKK members up, he knew they were going there the next day, thinking they were going to unalive all kinds of black people. Remember, that was their whole initial plan because it was really a slaughterhouse. The theory is Smoke wanted to unalive himself, so why not unalive some KKK members and also protect your brother? We are to assume Stack is in that house while the sun is up, waiting for the night to come out. He didn't want his brother to get unalived, so he saved him. However, the Gecko brothers, he turned on his brother real quick, unalived him in 15 seconds. He literally just turned into a vampire and they stuck his ass in the heart. Sinners is eerie, intense the whole way through. Dusk Till Dawn turns into a frat party with fangs. Gets cringy as fuck fast. I mean, y'all see two criminal brothers fighting vampires, and I guess that was enough to say it's the same movie. It's not. Quit trying to take our shit, man. But yeah, the whole movie was good. I'm over here rambling, but there's too much story, too much lore, too much history to talk about in one video. It gets deep, and I would see it again. I would see it 3 more times. It was that good. One thing I will say, I wish they would have actually showed us what the natives knew instead of giving them 5 lines and a side eye. And also with the scene of Sammy playing the blues so hard it literally tore a hole in the timeline. Past, present, future, this man turned a juke joint into the freaking multiverse. They showed people from like 1892 Harlem and some dude from 2004 in LA with red bandanas on, and women from today twerking. So with Remick over here starving for that guitar, like thirst trap level obsession, he wanted Sammy's sound so bad just to peek at his dead family, like this was some do-it-yourself Ouija board tutorial. He was drooling, salivating over musical trauma. They implied that if Sammy played hard enough, it would unlock some sort of ancestry.com. But I wanted to know more about that. I wanted to see what Remick was so pressed about. Like, who's he trying to see? His Irish grandmama? Because I doubt it was her. Was it just some undead homies? A leprechaun that ghosted him in 1843? Because you know he old as hell. I wish I would have had those visuals and those answers. Sammy and everybody in that juke couldn't even see the ancestors. They were just vibing among them. But Remick, the way he was talking with his supernatural creep card, he probably saw every single ghost in there, waving like it was a block party. And I feel like if y'all would have just gave us 30 more seconds of him reaching out to somebody, anybody, it could have answered a lot of questions. And that was a missed opportunity, unless there's going to be a Sinners Part 2 that goes even further back or deeper as far as what's going on. But yeah, Sinners don't just bite necks, they bite back with meaning. The film is a masterclass in mixing horror with history, turning vampires into metaphors for the folks who've been leeching off black culture since forever. It honors what's been stolen, what survived, and what's still thriving. If y'all love music, in film like I do, you guys are gonna love Sinners. You'll laugh, you'll flinch, you'll overthink everything. And that's the point. It's horror that hits different. And to me, it wasn't even scary. However, it is considered a horror film because it has vampires and blood and jump scares. It wasn't scary though to me. Coogler didn't just shoot a movie. The visuals was a chef's kiss because he crafted a visual masterpiece by blending IMAX 70mm and Ultra Panavision 70 formats. This combo delivers a cinematic experience that's both expansive and intimate, making every frame a piece of art. Sinners isn't just a film, it's an experience. The use of these formats immerses you in the story, making the supernatural elements feel grounded and the historical context more impactful. And all this is important for a person like me who's into movies that pushes boundaries and offer more than just a storyline. Visual satisfaction just doesn't cover it. At this point, it's a visual seduction. I gotta see this shit again. I ain't gonna hold. With they skeeted lips. They had skeeted lips. That's crazy. How you gonna have? They look like they had just got done doing the Gok 4000.